in our video series about what features runners should look for in shoes, both in running shoes and daily footwear, we've talked about the importance of having a nice wide foot-shaped toe box, one that doesn't narrow through the toes to squeeze those toes inward. We've talked about the importance of having a lower heel-to-toe drop. Some heel-to-toe drop in a running shoe is optimal because it's going to help with speed and running performance versus daily footwear. Flatter to the ground is typically better, so a zero drop shoe is going to promote more natural foot function. The third and fourth feature to consider about footwear is cushion and flexibility. So this is an example of a shoe with very minimal cushion underfoot. It's highly flexible. The less cushion you have, the more flexible it is. Flexible means the foot can work more naturally, promotes more foot strengthening. So should all runners be in this type of a daily shoe? If you do not have an existing foot injury, runners should be working towards shoes like this because it's going to promote more optimal body health and foot function. However, most people, if they try to go straight into a shoe like this all day long, they're not going to like it. Their feet are going to get sore. So where should you start? I think it's a good idea to get to where you can wear this type of a shoe even just when you strength train or when you're walking around for a couple hours at a time throughout the day. For most people, they're going to want to start with some type of an intermediate shoe that gives them a feel for the ground but still has a little bit of cushion. This is especially true for people that have any type of an injury in the foot. If you have really acute plantar fasciitis, you're definitely going to want more cushion underfoot. If you have any type of a forefoot injury, so any type of an injury, especially in the ball of the foot, if you're coming off of a metatarsal stress fracture, you're definitely going to want to have a little more cushion underfoot if you're in pain. But if you're not in pain and don't have an injury, this is a great goal to work towards, even if it's just for an hour or two a day. So what about running? Should you be running in a shoe like this? Most people are not going to want to. If you jump straight into running in a shoe like this, most people are going to get injured. It takes a lot of time to gradually build up your body's tolerance to a shoe like this when running. Ideally, you're in at least a little bit of cushion when you run. Most people are going to be able to tolerate this much better. This is a zero drop shoe that has some cushion. Zero drop, as we've talked about, is not really ideal for improving running performance. So ideally, you have a little bit of a heel here, so that'll promote more of a natural roll through the foot when you run. You're going to feel a little slower in a flat shoe like this. So when considering what type of shoe you should run in, you really need to ask yourself what your goal is. If your goal is to go out there, work on foot strengthening, just have a nice, slow, easy run, this is going to be a great shoe to wear. However, if your goal is to get out there and have good times, have good running performance, you want to have a shoe that has a little bit more cushion underfoot and that's not quite so flat, so that it'll promote a better rocker as you run. For runners that have any type of a foot injury, especially an injury located in the forefoot, the front of the foot, a lot of times those injuries are going to need a running shoe that's not quite so flexible. So this is an example of a running shoe that's fairly flexible when you bend it. If you have an injury in the forefoot, however, you're going to want to look for something that's a little harder to bend. That's going to promote more stiffness through that forefoot so that it's a lot easier for you to roll through your foot when you're running. And that's going to take a lot of stress off the front of the foot. In summary, when it comes to foot cushion, runners should work towards wearing a daily shoe like this during some of their day and when strength training, and most of their day with more of an intermediate amount of cushion. A third option that can bridge the gap between these two types of shoes is to wear a shoe more like this, but with a cushioned insole. Don't just focus on what you should wear when you run. What you wear during the day matters just as much or more. If you like this video and would like to see more, please like and subscribe to my channel below.